For decades, I've been operating under the principle, the idea, the hypothesis that all unwanted behaviors, emotions, and thoughts, unwanted thoughts and emotions ultimately come from resisted fear. And time after time, I've been able to discover how this was true in different cases, like, for example, with guilt. But there was one case that I was having a little trouble with, and that was the case of the behavior of comparing ourselves negatively to other people. Like, how did that have to do with fear? And this is a very common habit that many of us have, and especially here in China. A lot of people say, oh, I'm not as good as this person, or I don't have as much as this person, or whatever else. And very uncomfortable and recurring behavior, but I couldn't quite see how this was related to resisted fear. But then I saw it. When I saw it, it's very obvious that actually our fear is that other people are comparing us. Like, other people are saying, oh, well, you don't have as much money as this person, or your girlfriend isn't as beautiful as that girlfriend over there, or you're not as smart, or you're like, we imagine that other people are comparing, or maybe they actually are comparing, but we imagine that, we project that, and we feel, and so we start doing it to try to actually beat them to the punch. So this somehow makes us feel safer in some way, even though it's very uncomfortable to compare ourselves first before other people compare us. But the way you can test this is by just imagine that all other people were doing no comparing. They thought you were just great the way you were, with no comparing whatsoever. If you really believe that to be true, would you be doing that comparing yourself? And I think the answer is almost always no. So, and I'm talking about comparing in a negative way. You can compare yourself in a positive way, and there's no problem with that. So the solution to this is to embrace that fear, to make friends with fear. Like, to take the deep breaths. You've heard me do this before. Boy, am I scared that so-and-so is not thinking that I've got enough money. Or, boy, am I scared they're not thinking I'm so successful. Or, boy, am I scared they're not thinking I'm so confident, or comparing me to these other people. And to take the deep breaths and fully embrace that fear and make friends with that fear. And what I predict and promise for you is, after you do that, and do it 11 times, remember the 11 times, deep breathing, really trail it out. I'll do it just one time, for example. Boy, am I scared that my mother doesn't think that I'm working hard enough. Like that, or doesn't think I'm working as hard as so-and-so, or my brother, or my cousin, or something like that. Some sort of comparison there, right? And to take the deep breath and say that out loud and loudly. And if you do that 11 times, I promise you the comparison will disappear. Try it, you'll like it.